Alrighty everybody, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about my journey with trading. Before I get started, look at this amazing view that I have. I am here in North Carolina and I am here on a little vacation with my girlfriend. So chilling at a nice little Airbnb here. But I want to talk about my trading journey and from when I started to up until where I'm at now so I can do things like this and enjoy my life. So I first started trading around 2 years ago, and my best friend Pasha, he got me into trading. Now, I was working at a car dealership at the time, absolutely miserable. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I knew that there had to be some type of way out. So my best friend Pasha, I went to his house, and we hang out all the time. It was just a normal time hanging out, and I saw on his computer he was watching TJR. Now, I've been on social media, I've seen TJR before, I've known of him, I know he's a trader, I've known about trading. I think I've actually tried options trading before, but everybody's tried trading. So it was one of those things where I obviously didn't stick with it or take it serious enough. But he was watching TJR and he was saying that he was learning Forex. It's like, oh, that's interesting. I heard about Forex. I didn't know enough about it to really gain an opinion on it. So he told me I should start watching him to start learning and we should start doing it together. So I was like, okay, that's not a bad idea. So I started watching TJR's boot camp because that's what he was watching. Or no, I'm sorry, it was the trading transformation. He started with the trading transformation and that's what I started with. So I locked in really hard on the trading transformation at work because I worked like 50 hours a week. I didn't really have time to just do it on my own at home. So I locked in at work, and fortunately enough, the dealership that I worked at, I could bring my laptop. So I brought my laptop to work and I actually had a lot of free time at this dealership. So I started with his first episode and I finished within like a little less than a week, I would say, start to finish, taking notes. And it was still very confusing. I really didn't fully understand the whole trading thing yet, and nor does anybody. So I was very confused when I first started watching him, and then since he's an ICT trader, I was like, let me start to learn from the source, right? So if I'm going to learn from anybody, I'm going to try and learn from the source. So I then went to the ICT 2022 mentorship, and that was very confusing because, as you guys know, for anybody who has watched the ICT 2022 mentorship, there's a lot of rambling and a lot of stuff that isn't really trading related. That took me, I would say, about 1 to 2 weeks to really finish with, I would say, understanding it and then applying what he was teaching on the charts. Okay, so after I finished watching the 2022 mentorship, I always started trading a specific type of way, and it's similar to what I trade now, just a lot more refined and a lot more high win rate. But the fundamentals are pretty much the same in terms of time. I'm not going to say too much about my strategy here, but it's very focused on time, specific times throughout the day, and that's kind of what I started with. So I started doing that. I didn't buy my first eval till around 6 months into trading. Reason was because I knew I just wasn't ready. I wanted to paper trade. I wanted to get that down. I wanted to see if I can even take winning trades, and I was taking some winning trades, paper trading, and that's when I decided, once I had some knowledge about this, I decided to buy my first eval account, right? So I bought my first eval account and I was so nervous to trade it. And I mean so nervous to trade this eval account. You have no idea. I remember the first trade I took on this eval account, my heart was pounding out my chest and I was like sweating. I was freaking out. I didn't even take a good setup. I was just so nervous and so new to this trading thing that like I got such like analysis paralysis. I didn't really know what I was doing. I ended up blowing that eval account. I did not end up passing that eval account just because I was strategy hopping so hard at one point because I wanted to find the best strategy. I wanted to find like the best thing to do, but I ended up just blowing that account. And then after that, bought another one, and then another one, and then another one, up until I developed a actual proper strategy is when I passed it. So the first eval that I passed, I was still about 6 months into trading. It was around that month that I bought many eval accounts and I blew many of them, but I ended up passing one of them. I don't remember the exact date, but I remember me being super happy about it. After I passed my first eval, I blew that account. I did not get a payout on that account because I was still so new to this and I didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest. So after that first account that I passed, I then bought more, and then eventually passing another account, I got a payout on. This is when I started to really like dive deep into my strategy and really fully understand it and being able to apply it properly. So after I passed this account, I ended up getting a payout on it, and this is about 8 months into trading. Okay, so I'm about 8 months into trading, a little less than a year. I got my first payout, and I was so happy. I was so happy, but I only told one person, and that was my coworker at the time, because he was also day trading. So we were kind of like on the same path. Once I got that payout, I texted him, I was like, yo, I just got my payout. This is incredible. He was kind of expecting it because I was on like my 4th winning day. I remember I was just trying to get that winning day. It was such a small payout. I think it was like $360 or $369 to be exact. It was like somewhere around there. My first payout, I remember it hit my Wise account. Then I transferred it over to my bank account, and I realized like, oh my God, like, I just paid for some food, insurance, like, etc. Like, I just paid for some things from my laptop. That's insane. Like, that's so cool. Like, I think I want to do this full time. This is something that I really, really want to do. And at the time, I was journaling a lot. I was journaling my thought process, my trades, and all that good stuff. And that's when it started to really take off. So after I got that first payout, I was about 9 to 10 months into trading. I ended up getting a couple more payouts on that account. And then after I got like 3 to 4 payouts on that account, I went to 2 accounts. So I bought one more account, or I think I blew that account, so I didn't get moved to live. Because I think back then, or it might still be the same, I'm not sure, but if you get like 5 payouts in a row, you get moved to live or something like that. I remember I blew it on the 4th one, and then I bought 2 accounts. So after the second account, or after I bought those 2 accounts, I passed those 2 accounts, and then I got more payouts on those accounts. So I was just rinsing a payout pretty much every single week on those 2 accounts, and then I added a 3rd account. Once I went to 3 accounts, that's when I started to have pretty good months, like 5 to 8K months. I was like, hey, this is going well. I'm finally like making some money from this. After the 3 accounts, I went to 5 accounts. This is about a year into trading now. So we're about like 12 months into trading. I got on max allocation on Top Step, and then I started to just rinse payouts every single week. I was making like pretty decent money, like 4 to 5K every single week, because that was about every single payout. And that was giving me 5-figure months about a year into trading. So my progression from passing the eval to getting my first payout to then going to 5-figure months was pretty exponential, and it was in a short amount of time. It was only within like 3 months, I would say, that little pocket window of me getting my first payout to hitting the 5 figures a month. So that's what I talk about, the snowball effect. In one of my Instagram reels that did pretty well, I talked about a snowball effect in trading from going from first payout to 5 figures a month, and it was pretty quick. So yeah, the snowball effect happened to me, and I was just doing that pretty much every single month, just rinsing like 5 figures, stacking up money, doing pretty well. And it got to a point where I was like, I don't think I need to work my job anymore. That was a little after a year into trading. I would say about a year and 8 months into trading. A year and 6 months, or a year and 8 months, something like that, into trading is when I was like, okay, I think I'm going to quit my job. I don't need to work this job anymore. Actually, no, it was earlier than that. It was probably like a year and 4 months or a year and 5 months, because I quit my job a long time ago. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm going to quit my job now. So I ended up quitting my job, and this is when I was just, rinsing, and I was doing very well. And I was like, I don't think I need to be working for $21 an hour anymore, because the money that I'm making monthly is what I'm making per trade, if not more. So I was like, there's no reason for me to even be working this job anymore. I'm making good money from this. I can put more time into this. I can just overall have more freedom, because the main thing for me, and I would say the most important thing for me in my entire life, is having freedom. And working that job, working 50, 60 hours a week, I did not have freedom. I had to be somewhere almost every single day, and I had to listen to somebody every single day. And it got to a point where I was like literally losing my mind, and I couldn't take it anymore. I mentally and I physically could not take sitting in a building, being told when I should go eat lunch, or being told what to do, put on a fake persona for other people. And yeah, I was just not having it. And I've always been like that. I've always hated working a job, but I knew I had to do it in order to get to the next level. Because working that job, and I'm not saying I am ungrateful for that job whatsoever, I am very grateful for that job, because they were super chill with me. They allowed me to have my laptop, and I could trade and do all these things, and everybody knew I was day trading. Because you have a laptop out, you have coworkers walking around, they get a little nosy, so they see you're day trading, and they start asking questions and stuff. There was a lot of evil eye. I will mention that there was definitely evil eye in that job. But like I was saying, I am very grateful for that job because it gave me the funds to fund trading and be where I'm at right now. It allowed me to pay for a car, food, all these things that I wouldn't be able to get without a job. But that's not the only job I've worked. I've worked many, many jobs, like 10, 15 plus. Anyways, after I quit, I had a lot of free time on my hands, and I started to get really big into teaching because I was making good money and I knew a lot about the markets. I was like, why not start teaching people how to do what I do? So the Discord opened up, and I started to teach a lot of people, and I met a lot of good people, a lot of good close friends from the Discord, and now the Discord is sitting at over 1,000 people, and it's absolutely thriving, and I'm helping countless people every single day and changing people's lives, literally. One of my students, one of the OG students, $40,000. Another one hit $40,000 on the month. He's getting an M2, and so on and so forth. And I'm just helping these people rinse payouts like I wanted to do in the beginning of trading, and I needed some guidance in the beginning of trading that I never got. So now I'm giving these people the guidance that they need. So I'm very, very happy about that. But yeah, so that's pretty much the start, and I wouldn't say the finish, but that's currently where I'm at right now. Just continuously rinsing payouts pretty much every single week, if not bi-weekly, and catching a win almost every single day because my model is so versatile, meaning, and it's so frequent. So meaning it happens so much and it's so high win rate, and it's something that is literally changing people's lives, and it changed my life. And I honestly have to give a bunch of credit to people such as like ICT, Michael Huddleston, because if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have been trading like supply and resistance. I don't know if I would have gone down that path. I'm not sure, but ICT was definitely the way for me. So I'm very grateful for that. And yeah, and trading has allowed me to get my BMW M2, my 2025 M2, my apartment in the city, all these cool little things. I get to go on trips now. As you can see, we're in North Carolina. I get to go on trips. I get to just enjoy things and bring my laptop and work wherever I want, whenever I want, and do all the things that I need to do. So that's pretty much the journey of my trading. After I was making very good money, well over 5 figures every single month, I realized I don't need to work a job anymore because the job was just the stepping stone to get me to that point. And I got to that point. And now that I'm at that point, I can leave the job behind and focus on other things. And it was honestly the best decision I ever made. I'm a lot happier. I'm a lot less stressed now. I might have like more gray hairs now, but I promise you, I am less stressed than I was working a job. And for everybody who is working a job currently, I want you guys to understand that it's temporary, that you need to just submit to the process, and you need to just put your head down and know that everything will change in due time. I always had that mindset. It was like, okay, I know this is temporary. I know this job is not the final end goal for me. I know I'm not going to move up the corporate ladder because that's just not me personally. I don't feel that inside of me. That's just not the way I want to live my life. I always knew that this was going to work out. It was just a matter of time and a matter of submitting to the process and having external disciplinary actions to fund this lifestyle. Meaning hitting the gym every single day, eating healthy every single day, doing all the things I know I need to do in order to get to where I'm at right now. And I have reached that point, and I'm nowhere near finished, and I'm like right here, and the ladder just keeps going higher and higher and higher where I want to go. But I started at the bottom. I've got to a good point right now, and now I'm just continuously heading up higher. But that was my overall journey in trading, and where I started from nothing and I went to something. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys maybe related to it somehow. And there's a massive wasp flying around, and I should probably bounce because I don't want that thing getting anywhere near me. I have a concert to get ready for, and then yeah, just I want you guys to know that you got this, and your 6-figure months are coming. I promise you. Okay, submit to the process, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.